Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, Hunter Grand, your personal agent for change, making life easy, Barzini.
And I'm Fempreneur Extraordinaire, Tech Diva all day, Dre Renee.
And this is the Crossroads, where there's only one rule.
Be free to be you.
You know, I'll be thinking, I was like one rule, but I did it with two hands, and some people might think it's two. It's the little things, the little random things that you just think about.
It's two rules.
Right. It's one. Y'all know what I meant. It's one finger. I just did it twice. Here, bam, there y'all go.
At least it's that finger. My God.
Yeah. I don't need to be going viral for the wrong reasons again with the kids. But how you feeling? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year.
All of that. You know, New Year is traumatic for me a little bit. Well, the term anyway.
Okay.
Well, because when I was young, I had really, really big ears.
Mm-hmm.
And the older kids on the block, you remember Baby New Year?
No.
Okay, it was a little baby with a little sash that said Happy New Year, but they used to call me Baby New Ears.
Oh, it isn't ears. Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Kids are so cruel.
I got all the names. I used to get called Baby New Ears. Dumbo was their favorite. You know, they would flick my ears. They did a lot of stuff, you know. That's all right. Look at me now. They don't even say my name anymore. They just be calling me handsome. So, how did you bring in the new year?
At home. So with hashtag boo.
You pause like, oh.
Well, I was trying to think. I'm sorry. I'm like, the days are just right. So with hashtag boo, and my mom's actually here. So we had a little champagne, little countdown, watched it, you know, in New York and Nashville, and you know, it kind of just rolled into us, and then kept rolling. Like the new year kept rolling.
Yeah,
so.
You sounded like you was in there ministering to your husband at first when you called.
No, I would have just said that. But
I mean, at least you get to say that now without, you know what I'm saying? With no retribution. I'm pouring my beverage. You drinking today?
Nah, I didn't get myself set up in time, so I just had water.
Oh, okay. Don't have me up here looking like a drunk.
You'll be all right.
I typically only drink on Tuesdays now, though. It seems like
this is still drinking time.
Yeah,
I meant to have one. I was looking because I wanted some more spiked eggnog, but eggnog is done. When I went to the store today, I was like, hey, no more nog.
I think I used to drink eggnog when I was little. You know, just not the. And I don't think I can wrap my head around the texture now.
It's like a milkshake, no?
I wouldn't know. I haven't drank it in a long time. I just remember.
Okay. I was like, from what you recall.
From what I recall, it's just not. I like milkshakes, but I don't drink them for other reasons. It's not texture. It's just gonna be a long morning if I do.
Oh yeah. What's going on with black folks and they intolerance to dairy? Like we know we
I
love
don't
us some
know.
cheese and some well, especially cheese. I don't think everybody is into milk, but most
Well,
black
I
people are
can
into
cheese I
cheese,
can
black
handle.
macaroni and cheese, ice cream, but now you get a certain age and folks just like, ooh,
Ice cream is out.
can't handle it.
I got some ice cream sandwiches. I might have one tonight, but that's just because I ain't gotta be nowhere no more.
Right. And then there's
I
that, like, I can't really take it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Just,
listen, like certain things, like I don't have to be up and be anywhere super early, and I'll be
mhm.
waking up alone tomorrow.
Okay.
So, now if I'm not waking up alone, then you know
That is so funny to me.
that's
Oh,
hey, but like and we'll get into that part like in one of our discussions. But I think a lot of people say that that's the beginning of a relationship.
oh,
When
when you can do all that.
listen, I'm just saying. I had a situation recently where I'm laying there, I'm like,
Bubbles, bubbles. It's bubbling.
listen,
It's bubbling.
I was like, what to do, what to do. Luckily, they
Mm,
was like, you better better out than in.
yeah. I mean,
So
or you might need to get up and make a quick trip to the
listen, in her line of work, she was like, I see way worse than that anyway. I'm not even worried about. I was like, say
yeah.
less.
Yeah, no, no, no. Well,
No,
you know what?
I'm
That
saying
works for you
I
guys.
got up.
That
I
don't
got
work
up.
for us. Y'all will
Mhm.
no, no,
No,
don't do that.
I didn't
Don't
lay
fall
there
for
and
the
do
okey
it.
doke.
No, I'm saying I got up. But
Mm-hmm.
even sometimes, like even if you have company or something like that, you might be in the bathroom trying to ease it. Y'all, this is
Turn
not
that
where the
vent
show was
on.
supposed to go. Yeah. Yeah, be turning the water on, turn the shower on.
Oh my gosh.
And they know you're not in there taking a shower.
Like, what they in there doing? Anyhow. Happy New
But
Year, okay,
yeah,
to
New Year,
the
same me.
roadies and road dogs. If you're new, also go ahead and give us a comment in the chat. Like if it's your first time, please let us know so that we can shout you out. If you're watching us from Facebook, there's a note in there just to let you know you're gonna have to give StreamYard permission so that we can see your name because otherwise it doesn't show us your name. So use that link that's in the comments for you to be able to do that. And I'll put the instructions up if you don't see it. But if you click that link, it should give you the option to do that so that we can see you. However, we want everybody, we want all the party people to meet us over on YouTube. That's
YouTube.
very important. Okay,
Yeah.
so get over. If you find us on Facebook, you find us on Instagram, that's cool. But go ahead,
Come on.
hop, skip, and jump
Right.
over
Over to
to
YouTube.
YouTube.
And just even the growth, because Instagram used to be the backstage pass where you can see
Mm-hmm.
all the green screen. So while y'all are getting the actual stream on Instagram, that's cool. Still come on. We're only there to get y'all to come over here. We on YouTube.
That's where we are.
That's
That's
why
where
that's
we
why we are.
are.
We're on YouTube. We're just syndicating from YouTube to the other places because we fancy like that now, right?
Ew.
But as far as New Year's, I did what I do. I was at the crib,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
What's your
Um
shirt say?
it
I
says
can explain to you. Oh, go ahead.
I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you.
Mm,
You know,
bars.
listen. I wear this to
Bars.
work. I wear this to work pretty often.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I could,
That man, I need to
you
get
know,
one of those in a bunch of colors.
yeah. But I think it's so relevant in so many areas of our life because so many things happen when people don't understand each other. Even if you know what I'm saying, explain it. Nadia Jones, turn me up in my headphones.
Happy New Year, Miss Jones.
Yeah, that's my dog right there.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think that it just breaks down what communication just really is. That level of trying to be clear, um, but it doesn't always.
Doesn't
Yes.
always translate. Well,
It
that's
doesn't
why
always
we're
translate.
here. That's another reason why the Crossroads exists. Again, for those of you who may be new, and if you are, please tap the subscribe button. Also, click like and share. There's three things that we want you to do. But we have necessary conversations here, amongst men and women. So you get to kind of peek in on our conversations as best friends for over 20 years.
Mm.
And we're able to just, say it how we feel it, because nobody's gonna get kicked out of the bed and onto the couch. Nobody's gonna like, it's all good. We
It's
say
all
we
good.
have to say,
Yeah.
and we keep the party going.
I
So, and you
wonder,
can bring your viewpoints here the same way. Go ahead.
were we always like that? Or did we? I don't even remember us working up to. I mean, I know I've always been that way. So
Um, no, I guess I probably had to work my way up because I was always more sensitive, but I've
I
worked
remember.
my
I
way
do
up.
remember your first time talking to me though.
Yeah, I was always more I was always more sensitive, so I
Uh-huh.
had to work my way up to like not taking things
Hmm.
super personally, I think, but I think we've always been honest.
Yeah.
I think that's always been the case, but in terms of like how you receive it, it's like, you know,
Hmm.
it's not to hurt you, or might not even be about you. It's just,
Right.
kind of, this is what it is. Hey,
I don't.
Callie
Yeah.
Bell.
I think I'm working on. Like people look at me. I'll say things and people look at me like, did he just say that? And I'm like what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Those are the words that I meant. Or I love when people try to give you different words. You mean to say that? No, what I
No,
meant was
I
what
said
I
what I said.
just said.
Mm-hmm. Said what I said. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know. God's still working on me. That's provided I need work in that area. I definitely need work, but you know, I think I'm okay for the most part.
Indeed. Indeed.
But
All
before,
right.
yeah,
Everybody's over at YouTube. I'm so proud of you guys.
look at
Happy
y'all.
New Year.
I'm following
Now, did
instructions and
everybody
shit.
hit the like button? Let me,
Y'all
I'll
hit this,
check.
yeah, hit the subscribe and the like and the
We
like.
need all of that. We need
Right.
all of that.
So let's get into paying these bills real quick, right fast, one time, so we can get into the meat of what we came to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all, as usual, I can't even say the damn name of the show. The
That's okay.
Crossroads Podcast is brought to you by the House of 334.
It's the house.
For all your business branding and copyright needs, go to houseof334.com. It is black owned, it is woman owned, it is black woman owned, and it is amazing. And make sure you move quickly because the house will fill up fast. The Crossroads is also brought to you by the Crossroads. Y'all can find everything that we do at our bit.ly. That's bit.ly/the Crossroads. That's THEXROSSROADZ. Right? That X and the Z is very, very important, right? So everything that we're doing, all of our social media, our email address, everything to contact us is in that bit.ly. But also, if you want to donate to the show, we are so grateful for those who continue to donate to the show to keep this going, y'all. This is a labor of love, but love ain't free. And if you think it is, go tell your landlord that you love him. So for those who continue to donate, we thank you. A little bit helps, a lot helps, even more. But what we need from you more than your donations is your subscriptions, y'all. Listen, we love your money, but we want YouTube's money, right? This is
Right,
a this
indeed.
this is a OPM operation. We want to spend other people's money. So y'all can help us by making sure that you subscribe and share this with some y'all. We are less than 20 subscribers, from meeting our first goal. So, you know, also, we have a campaign coming up. Drop in the comments if you're willing to help us with this campaign. It is very, very simple. We are going to do a Crossroads marathon. And all we want y'all to do is watch the episode, right? So just watch it because also your watch hours and your views count. So we have an episode. Just we'll explain the details. If you're down to help us with this, it's going to be a 10-day campaign. If you're down to help us, drop in the comments or send us a message saying just say I'm down, and we'll contact you with the details of how that's going to go so that we can meet this goal. And it's going to change the trajectory of the show. It's going to change the trajectory of a lot of things moving forward. But we're so close to meeting some very, very reachable goals. And we can't do that without you. So we appreciate y'all.
Thank you so very much. And speaking of donations, we want to send a huge, huge shout out to Ashley Dior, who dropped a
Hey,
little love in the Crossroads mailbox,
yeah,
if you
she
will.
she dropped a nice chunk of love.
Yeah, so we absolutely appreciate that for Christmas. If you want to follow suit, like Barzini said, we love the monies, and as you can see, hopefully you can see the advancements that we are making for the show. We are in progress of doing some other wonderful things just ahead of the season 2 drop. So again, if you're new and you probably just like don't know what we've been up to or what is coming up next. So we have a season 1 already on that YouTube channel that you have just subscribed to. If you haven't, go ahead and click that subscribe button and you can watch old episodes. What we do here on Tuesdays is the XrossroadZ Podcast live. And so this gives us an opportunity to give commentary on things that are happening in the world around us, social media, things that you send to us. But our weekly episodes within the seasons, those are pre-recorded. We have guests. And, we talk about anything from relationships, that's fan favorite, but also personal development, things that are affecting and impacting our lives as Gen X and early millennials. So many of you are in that age bracket. And so we talk about family
And a few
relationships.
boomers. And a few boomers.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because the boomers got called out a couple of weeks ago and they did not like it. The boomers was not with that.
Yeah.
The boomers was like, we gonna fight if y'all don't get it together. So shout out. Oh, okay. And speaking of them,
Boom. Yeah, that's what I said.
Miss Sugar 32 said, I'm down. Happy New Year. Okay, so she's
And
willing
shout
to
out to
help
the
us
boomers.
with the campaign. So just to let you all know, we are running this campaign and we want to meet these goals so that we can drop season 2 for you. So it's a little different. Sometimes you'll get 2 episodes in 1 week, but again, one will be where we have already, done the legwork, and then here on Tuesdays, you get an opportunity to interact with us. Right. So just to kind of catch you up.
And please, stay with us as well, because pretty soon we'll be making some announcements. But the Crossroads pretty soon will be hiring. We are expanding the team, and so for those of you that have some level of expertise in social media, in operations coordinators type positions, and in production, we will be looking to fill some positions there. So if you or somebody that would be interested in this type of part-time work, drop us an email or a comment. But there's details that will be coming. But the Crossroads is expanding the team. We are growing the show. We are doing big things. We are meeting goals. And it's all made possible by you, the roadies and road dogs. So we love y'all. We love y'all, and we appreciate y'all. We want y'all to grow with us, right? So, y'all, we're still ground level. We're so much further than where we started. For our day ones, y'all remember the Zoom recordings? We started off on Zoom.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
We despise the day of humble beginnings. We did well, and now we're just continuing to progress. Hey, Marsha.
Right. Yeah, we in HD now.
I know. So what we talking about today? Because the people's is here.
Yeah, the people's is here. So y'all, we gonna start off with a viral moment. This video that's been going around that we would be remiss if we did not discuss. Now, it's not a new topic, but it's a new video, and so the topic has come up. And I don't know if this is not something that we've discussed ad nauseum on the show. But I know we've discussed it on the page. So we're going to show a video, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to unpack this video real quick.
Thank you guys. You want any dessert?
Oh, no.
I don't want any dessert.
Can you separate it? I got the birthday girl and my wife.
Separate cake. Dave, I'm sorry, you're the only man at this table. Why are we doing separate cakes? It's all women here. You got
no, but I'm not responsible for paying everybody. I got the birthday girl.
You invited everybody. You invited all of us.
I didn't invite you. Ernestine invited you. Okay, I'm responsible for who I brought.
Okay, you're the only man at the table. I'm sorry, hold on. We was all doing Russian roulette, paying with credit cards and all that. Now all of a sudden you want to split checks? We doing split checks now?
That was 2021.
Y'all wait.
Things were different.
Not 21.
But I didn't sign up for that. Okay, there's nobody else doing
But
the.
you participate. I know we ain't got shit.
I know. Wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. This is my birthday for real.
Okay, well, I'm not mad at me because I didn't have anything.
No.
I didn't get
No.
But you
It's
still
Donnie's
paid.
birthday.
Wait a minute. We're not
I
doing
didn't
this.
pay for nothing that I didn't get.
But you
No,
came
but you
though.
sat
So
at the
you still.
table.
But you don't pay for a seat.
Okay, well, yes, no.
Listen,
There's
I don't
gratuity
care- I don't
and
care.
everything on this
I don't care how y'all
Wait,
do
I
it.
didn't order
I didn't
gratuity.
have anything. I just showed up.
Well, I'm sorry.
I didn't order
Dave, but you always pay, like, you're the only man at the table. You're not going to pay the check?
If it's, but I'm not obligated. I got my whole family.
It's $700 for this whole table, and it's my birthday.
This is your podcast co-host.
It's
This is your
only
best friend.
$700.
It's only Shan.
You being cheap.
Are you kidding me right
You're
now?
honestly being cheap right now.
Okay, first
No,
of
if
all,
that was the case, I'd have just took you out.
are
so
you
much
being
different.
Dre? Are you gonna let him sit here with a whole table full of women?
I really feel like it's not his responsibility, and when y'all get a husband,
I'm married.
I'm sorry. I do
Oh.
have a husband, though. Hold on, wait a minute.
Thank
No, so Donnie, you're good because it's your birthday, but
y'all.
most of y'all
So
we gotta chip
embarrassing.
in.
We're good.
Y'all are so
you
embarrassing.
can.
Let me get
You
out
need
of
to leave.
here.
Not us splitting checks.
You need to leave.
I'm not paying for anything. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not paying for anything.
No,
He's
you
the man
ate.
at
You
the
had
table.
a couple drinks.
That's
You know what?
that's some bullshit. No.
I'm not paying for anything.
I'm gonna tell you tomorrow.
No, he's the
No,
man at the
I'm
table.
yo.
He
Wait,
needs to pay.
can you please separate the check, please?
He like, I said what I said.
No, because I'm saying that's ghetto. Like, you don't come to no establishment like that talking about splitting checks. I don't do that. I don't split checks. That's
Thought
really
you were
ghetto.
the podcast king. Thought you were the podcast king.
We thought you were the podcast. I could see somebody saying that to you. We thought you were the podcast.
First of all, if anybody has ever watched a minute of this podcast, that would not even be a whole thing.
Before we get into this, yes, shout out to Zoo. Kiana's a day one. Rody,
Hey.
of course, Miss Jones. Shout out to the humble beginnings. Yes. So I already see the comments coming in about this clip, but you know, that was just so boisterous. It was a lot.
And you know, the craziest part is I've been in this situation before. It was a slightly different, but we'll get into that. Y'all put well, we already know y'all thoughts. It's already coming in the comments.
Yes,
So-
but continue. Let us know,
Yeah,
ladies
y'all-
and gents.
So
What do you think? Are men? So what are we asking? Are men responsible for the check?
that is a resounding hell no.
I'm asking what the question was. I know what your answer is.
Like
Oh my God.
that.
Okay, here we go. Because Callie Bell is going where I want to go, but let's
Mhm.
start here. Okay, I'm already annoyed. This is stupid. You don't show up if you can't afford to pay for your meal, period. Not even a date. Right. This is not a date. This was a birthday. I think it was a birthday situation. And everybody really should be trying to pay and cover the birthday girl, not try to get their stuff covered. And here we go. This is the 1, the 2, and the 10. I bet you better not be trying to tell my husband. Oh, don't tell him anything, let alone something about money. Your stuff to hashtag boo needs to be hello, how are you, farewell, God bless, like along those lines. Don't.
Mhm.
And then, Dre, you just gonna stand there and let him not pay? I sure will.
I surely shall.
Are you crazy? Oh, that when they brought the wife into it, I was like, oh, because I really thought she was about to put that baby down and go to work, but she did better than me.
Yeah.
She did
And
better than me.
but the amazing part is there are people that believe that this is how it's supposed to be. Like like here's my thing, because I'm a man, why does my money spend different? right? Like now, if I'm there with my woman or my family, I'm responsible for my family, right? Or my date or whatever. And
Mhm.
even still, that's a charge that I take. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But like, I'm not waking up with near one of them. You know what I'm
Not there.
saying? And so I'm like, and even if like if I'm with a woman that thinks that I'm supposed to pay for everybody at the table, okay, cool. Then I will be getting benefits from everybody at the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So since that's not the case, then nah, I'm not taking money out my house. And for what? To prove what?
I don't even know if it was to prove anything. It was just, as Aaron is saying, like someone said, I don't split checks. Okay, well then you take the whole thing.
Yeah,
If
so
you
she
don't
don't
want to
split
split
checks.
it, then yeah. I mean, because I do understand it, right? Like we've all been in a group setting or situation. I think
Mhm.
Kiana's comment is very key, right? Like you need to understand what's happening before you sit down. Now, I generally don't sit down to eat or drink with people where I think this is even an issue. I think we
Mhm.
are the type of people who are either okay with splitting it or we will be the ones trying to, rush and put our cars down. Like nobody's ever in a situation of like trying not to pay. I've never
Mhm.
that is not my reality, but I know that happens.
Mhm.
But yes, making sure that it's explicit as to what's going on here, especially in a celebratory situation, something like that. Generally, all the people don't know each other, right? Like it's one thing if it was like me and you, and my husband, and perhaps someone that you're bringing on a date. It's like okay, that's different, but people you knew from elementary school, grew up in your neighborhood, and I don't know these people,
Right.
right? Or vice versa. So like, why would I be responsible for your friends?
Mhm.
Again, if it's your birthday, okay,
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
you. But
Yeah. See, me and my friends typically, well, depending on the friend group. So I have one friend group too where we, no matter what's ordered, a lot of times we'll just split the check evenly amongst like all of us. Right. Sometimes somebody orders a little bit more, but usually we'll just like, hey, we'll split it evenly to try to, it's easier. Some groups, it's like, okay, everybody responsible for what they pay. Now, if somebody's feeling generous, it's like, oh, hey, it's on me tonight, right?
mhm,
But that depends on what level of life you're at. So just to assume that because this man is there, you don't know their financial situation,
right,
right? And you talk about, oh, it's just 700. You don't know, you don't know what's on them people's
just
plate. You feel
mhm,
me? And so we got to stop counting people's money, right?
absolutely.
So because he was at the table of men weeks before playing,
And this
it's
wasn't even
like
weeks before, right? Like
mhm,
he said that was
20 and 21,
2021.
right?
Or 2020. Yeah, it was like a couple of years ago. And so you trying to ride off of, how many people are in different situations since 2021?
I'm saying,
Marcia
like,
says, uh, is it up? However, I do believe if you are inviting people out, traditionally you pay or you explicitly state. And so I think what was clear was that, as he said, I didn't invite y'all,
mhm.
right? So this is not even that. This
But
is,
even if you do get an invite, I think there's different types of invites. So if I'm saying, hey, let's link up, let's go out, right? I'm not saying I'm taking you out. Now, if I call you and hashtag boo up and say, hey, I want to take y'all out to dinner, that's
mhm,
much different than, hey, let's link
let's
up.
meet up. Yeah, let's meet up.
Right?
Hey,
So,
come on, Marsha, these my people, because everybody's trying to get those flight points or hotel points. We like, hey, anybody
mhm,
mind if I go on and swoop in on this? Even if you are splitting the check, generally somebody's gonna want to, be the big fish and
mhm.
get the point. So I get that. D. Will said, I ain't paying for not one of those heifers. They better dig into their broken bag. Yeah, I just the
not they,
entitlement.
right? Not the Birkin bag, the
The
broken
broken
bag.
bag. The entitlement though is really
Mhm.
crazy, and we generally have a good group of folks that join us here, so I don't know if there's anybody that's watching that can even, kind of give us the thought process from the other side. It seems like everybody is thinking the same. So Tiffany said, who invited whom on a date? No, this wasn't even a date. Girl, this wasn't a date. I have to send you the link for the video. This is, so just think about me and Barzini, their podcast partners. And this was a skit. So also, just so everyone knows, this was not, that wasn't real life, but this situation is still real life, right? So just imagine us going out, and I mean, we can apply this to a real life situation. My birthday's on Saturday. And so, Barzini says, hey, I'm going to take you out to eat. And, I wind up inviting other people to this dinner that he planned for, us and maybe our families. And then at the end of the night, he goes, hey, I'm going to take care of the birthday girl. And he doesn't have a wife, but just say he did, right? And my wife. And then everybody at the table goes ham. And it's like, now what you doing? Trying to split a check and leave us out. And they were so serious. They did some good acting. Because they were. Look, she said, oh, no, hard pass. And again, and I'm sure I can speak for Tiffany. I can speak for my husband's, a couple of other women and some of my sorority sisters. We are married to men that may sometimes do that. And when I say that, pick up the check. Like, and everybody's shocked, like, oh my God, you don't have to do that. And they are generous like that. But I think the difference, or I know the difference is that we're not sitting there with the expectation that somebody else's husband, or even a non-husband, just a man, period, that we are not in relationship with, we are not related to, we do not know, is going to cover our bill. And we're grateful when someone decides to do it, right? So generosity is one thing, but demanding something of someone, again, that doesn't know you from a can of paint, it just seems a little off to me. Like, that's not even just, that's like something.
Now, I will say this, like, disclaimer. Now, when the roadies and road dogs, and when we add people and this show gets big and we got company money and we're doing a live focus group at dinner, the Crossroads can cover that for some day ones.
Day ones.
Right? However, y'all plus ones, I just don't know, like,
shout out to the day ones, not the plus ones.
The day ones, not the plus ones.
I love it.
It's all drinks and naps until the bill comes. They run at the tab and expect the man to pay for it. I can't even understand, but they're gonna understand soon enough. You will soon understand.
And then sis that was sitting on the side was like, I'm not tripping because I didn't order anything.
Now I will speak up for her, because there are some people, like, you'll sit there and not order, like, you might have one drink or a little salad and they want you to split the check down the middle with everybody. Now, if I'll say this also, if you know your group, right? Now, if you know you rocking with a group like that and you know that you ain't trying to spend like that, then you might have to pass, right? So I will say, if you start going against group norms, how it runs to the tap and expects us to.
You done threw her out there, don't you? You'll never see it.
Yeah, you better pay what you weigh.
I love pay what you weigh. I love it. You understand? Let me get in on the focus group. I know that's right. Okay.
Hey, there it is.
We're gonna call you because there's something we need before we get to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Before we get to that dinner, we're gonna need a little something.
But so this actually happened to me, not on this level, but it happened with the woman that I was dating at the time. That's usually stated during the selection of your meals. If someone got your meal on, if it was not stated your meal is on you.
And also, yes, I think that is it. If no one specifically says, I got you, you need to consider that it's on you. But even if it's unclear, you do need to order what you can pay for. Even if at the end of it all, you're like, shock and awe, I don't have to pay. It should be that you ran up the bill and you praying in the bathroom that, he gonna whip out the credit.
You ain't trying to take your time.
Right.
No. So I got a call. So I was at school, I was taking a class, and my ex, of course, my girl at the time, calls me and says, hey, you want to meet for breakfast. And we went to Toast in Beverly Hills, right? She used to like Beverly Hills stuff. So it's me, her, and her cousin. So we sit and we having breakfast, we have a good time. The check comes. Now, I actually intended on paying for everyone, right? Wasn't even that much. It's just 3 of us, right? Mm-hmm. So absolutely. It was like
my wallet. I love it.
But so the check comes and her cousin reaches for, the check to like pay her part. And she's like, girl, put that down. He'll pay for it. And he will, right? And so it pissed me off because you're not gonna spend my money for me. Like if I haven't already said that, like I planned to do it, but I didn't say that yet. You know what I'm saying? So you sit back, and be lucky that I got you. You
that part.
Because one, you invited me. I was minding my own business. So you asked
she should be picking up the tab for both of y'all.
I'm saying. How you know I got bread? Like how I know you wasn't broken? It's like, oh, let's call him up so he can pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, you supposed to pay for it because you the man. I was like, who said that? Well, that's what my daddy said. Okay, well then how your daddy come up here and pay for it?
I know that's right.
I got so tired of hearing about her daddy.
And shout out, because my dads were like, they always made sure I had what I needed. So I never dated like that. Mm-hmm. Like, and we were laughing about it with hashtag boo, because I was like, I'd be quick to be like, my daddy got like, I have to lean on you. My daddy gonna take care of me. Like I didn't have that problem. So I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. If these are, I don't know if these are women who don't have that kind of security, or maybe they grew up seeing their mothers taking care of kind of like every single thing. But even that, okay, and this is another topic for another day. When somebody takes care of your every single need, that's not free. It's still not free, right? And so, you may be living under somebody's thumb. They may be treating you like crap. They may be doing all kind of other stuff. So, it's not even really a flex, to even be someone that has, someone taking care of them like that. Like, again, another one for another day. Same. I do that too. Yeah. It's so hard to date when daddy come.
Well, I'll say this. Their fathers often give horrible dating advice to their daughters, right?
But also we're their daughters, right? So it's like, what I mean. That's what I mean. No. I'm saying for the comment that was up there. Yes, it's customary for many of us. I'm gonna make sure it's customary for those of us who experience it, right? For the dad to take care of it. But once you are now you going out of his family and out from under his umbrella, out into the world, you can't expect a stranger to cover you like your dad just because they both have the same genitalia. That's crazy.
You often can't even expect your husband to like, yeah, it's his charge, but like that's your daddy. You feel me? That's your daddy. And his soul. And so let me just say this especially for the ladies who had their fathers and had good fathers that took great care of them, right? His job was like every good dad wants their daughter to someday have a man that's going to do what he does, which is why he does what he does, right? But you ain't gonna never look at a man like you look at daddy. It's just different. It's different. You feel me? Because he's gonna do it.
I know that's right. He said, hell, my daddy still picks up the tab when he takes us out. I have to beg him to let me pay.
Let me tell you who daddies doesn't pick up the tab. No. I'm right. My dad will pick it up sometimes, or sometimes but
well, I mean, and also as we get older, as children, as as their children, we want to do things, for them. And so I understand that. But yeah, daddies are dad. Look, granddaddies too. Come on.
Yeah, great. So like my thing is, your dads, they want the best for you, right? They want the red Yeah, I'm saying something because it's like dads, and I'm not even going to limit this to women with dads, because even some men, like your parents want you to benefit from dating and have the advantage and want you to have somebody great, right? I get it, but that's just not always real life. You see what I'm saying? Like dads are just different. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna do things that, even if you piss daddy off, he's still providing for you. You piss off somebody you dating, it might look different that night.
You might be out there on your own.
You know what I'm saying?
Out there on that limb by yourself.
But I also want to say this, because this conversation also oftentimes gets convoluted and diluted and becomes about money. And it's not about money. It's about entitlement. You have to allow someone the room to be generous, right? Contrary to a popular opinion, many men, if not most men, are very generous. We enjoy being generous. What we don't enjoy is being told what we have to do and obligating our time, money, and resources to fit your narrative. That's where it goes left. When you tell, and let me speak for me specifically, when you start telling me what I have to do, it's never going to end well for you. When you tell me what I'm supposed to do, it's not going to end well. Your job is to be dope, right? If you're being dope and you're doing and you're making sure I'm good, I'm going to make sure you're good to the best of my ability, right? And I am a generous person. I am a caretaker. I'm a protector. All those things. And I enjoy making sure you're good. But that's also predicated on your making sure that I'm good in the areas that I need you to make sure that I'm good. While I may not need the same things from you that I do for you, because we're different, right? We have different needs. You're making sure my needs are met. I'm going to make sure your needs are met to the best of my ability, right? I may not be able to meet all of your needs, right? Like let's say if it's financial, I may not be balling like that, but I'm going to do what I can. And I'm going to do it to the level of not overextending myself to where I'm not getting stuff cut off, because I'm trying to make sure you're good, right? And so men, this is a lesson that we got to learn. Stop trying to flex early on in the relationship, right? Give to the capacity of your resources comfortably, right? You give that which you can give comfortably. So my job when I'm dating, I want to show the everyday version. I give according to the everyday version of me, right? I'm not going to give beyond that. I'm not going to do more than I can maintain or sustain, right? If I can't sustain it, I'm not going to do it, because what I don't want to do is set a precedent that I can't keep up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
I ain't gonna say that. I like a man that says.
Well,
I get the sentiment. Yeah, I get the sentiment.
But you don't want a yes man either.
No, I get. That's what I said. I get the sentiment, but no, don't feel.
Yeah, listen. You know me and no. I don't have a problem saying no. Yeah. Like if I can't do it, then I'm not gonna pretend like I'm gonna do it or I can do it. So you just got to be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with that person, because you set a level of expectation, right? And so if you going all out trying to get this woman or trying to impress this woman or this man or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you doing all of this, and then you got them, and now all of a sudden it's like, all right, I already got them. Then I can chill now. Like, it's like, hey, where's the? You used to call me. You used to text me. You used to come through. You used to write me little notes. You used to say nice stuff.
Yeah, gotta keep it up. Can't start it and fall off.
Yeah,
you can't start and fall off. But well, speaking of different needs, right? We all have different needs. Some things men need, some things women need, some things we need as individuals. And so we had a little conversation that started in the Crossroads Facebook group last week about what makes a man or woman marriage material. And so we got a couple of comments there. Of course, Barzini went and did some extensive research with his network. So we have a couple things. And then you all are here. So we want to hear from you as well. Now, of course, you know, some of the answers, and I did a little deeper dive as we were collecting characteristics, if you will. And I asked some of the people that were married, like, hey, you know, is this the list that you always had? Or did it change, you know, once you got married? And so I didn't get a lot of feedback, but I think the consensus was it was a mix, right? Like there's a list that I had to make me sure that I wanted to move forward with the person. But of course, once you're in it, then there are some things that may show themselves that, you know, you think is important as well. So that's what we're talking about next.
Marriage.
What makes your marriage material? Is there even a such thing as marriage material?
I would say objectively, no. Like there is, because you know me and templates. I hate templates, right? So no, I don't think that there's one definition that makes somebody husband or wife material. I think that's very subjective. Now, that being said, right? In my opinion, there were a couple of comments, and one surprisingly there was far more men that commented than
the
women.
Men
Right?
were.
The men were.
I had to kind of goad the women, like
it makes you wonder, like, do they know what they want? Because you would think, like, with all of the commentary that we get from women about what men aren't doing, right? When a very specific question is asked, what makes a man marriage material? It was crickets. Like, and you know, my page is popping with women. Like, women will comment, them Twitter fingers get you going. Them Kermit fingers, you know, that Kermit, right? They turn to Bruce Almighty with it. And they was surprisingly quiet, you know, on this particular topic. Now, I will say, as I get older, what I'm finding to be more and more important, and currently experiencing, is the willingness to grow, right, and to hear or to communicate or to resolve like issues, right. And so I've been experiencing that lately, where there'll be misunderstandings, some miscommunication, and kind of go to neutral corners and then come back, and like the topic will kind of come up, and then there's some clarity. Learning communication styles, like, you know, everybody, I think, and having the expectation of someone communicating like you, right? Because so for me, I'm told I'm a wordsmith, right? Like, hey, you're good with word, I'm good with words, right? And I can express things. And then I'm told, like, hey, not everybody can do that. Some people, you know. So she told me, she's like, sometimes I need to take some space, process, think about what I really want to say, and then come back and say it. Because I'm like, well, just like clarify, say it right here. I got thick skin. I'm a big boy. Like, and not everybody's like that. So I have to learn to not expect me from my partner, right? I can only show up as me and allow them the space to be them, right? And so, and once I learn who she is, then it's like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Like, and she's learning me. And so once we learn that communication, our expectation changes. So it's kind of like, I can't be like, no, we're gonna talk about it right now. Because that's what I want. I want to talk about, hey, it's on the table. It's happening right now. Let's deal with it right now.
Right.
Because that could potentially open the door for something being said that wasn't meant. And now it's easier to say what you mean the first time, the way that you feel it and want to say it. And sometimes that you need time to do that versus going back to fix what you said.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's just, marriage material is what you're willing to accept in the marriage. Like marriage is ongoing, things change. I know I didn't want baggage, so someone with kids was a no-go for me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you want.
Yeah.
That's helpful. When you know
Mhm.
what you want, then you can recognize it when you see it. That's something I definitely shared that. I was like, yeah, I want to start from zero. Let them start from zero.
Mhm.
If it grows from there, fine. If it doesn't grow from there, fine. But yes, that was something for me. Also, what you described in terms of communication and something that I heard recently. I was actually with some wives that were giving some wonderful advice to someone who was getting married within that week. And so we're sitting and talking, and communication came up. And one of the wives was saying that she is more avoidant than her husband. Now, a lot of us that sitting at the table were like, oh, it's mostly in the reverse. Like the woman wants to talk, and the man's like,
Mhm.
okay. But she was saying that she, experiences it in the reverse. And one of the things that they do, they have a notebook that stays on there, whether it's a nightstand or somewhere visible, I guess in their bedroom. And whenever one or the other has something that they want to talk about or express, and it doesn't always have to be bad. So that's another thing. Even if it's showing appreciation for something that they did, right? They write it in the notebook. And if the notebook is open, then the other person knows that there's something in there for them. And I thought that was great to consider doing for those who might need something like that, because one of the things that I wrestled with as I was learning to give my partner space to process is, well, I give you space to process, but what about the fact that I have an issue that I want to deal with right now? Right. Like I was like, I can wrap my head around being considerate of you, but when do I consider myself? And so something like this, I think, is helpful for that, because for me, sometimes I just need to get it out. So writing it down would definitely be helpful, even if it's not like having to say it to the person immediately, but I'm not holding on to it and therefore getting upset, getting sad, like whatever that thing is and whatever it would make me feel like, being able to write it down, voice note, whatever that is, to at least like, that's how I release it. Then I can leave it there until you've done your hocus pocus, and then we can meet, back in the middle.
Let me ask you this. What would you consider being more considerate for you specifically? Talking about it now, or processing so that what needs to be said is done in a less hurtful or angry or like, right? Because in that person might be, well, I'm that person, #boo. Like let's not talk like you're not married, right? Like he might be in a certain space and he might say something in a way that does not translate in a healthy way in the moment, right? Like you want to talk in the moment, he may not be able to communicate healthily in the moment. So maybe him taking time is considering you so that I can say the right words.
Yeah,
But,
no,
right, so
I'm not talking about him considering me. I said me considering me. So if I am considering you to the point where I feel like I'm doing something to myself that doesn't feel good, what can I then do to honor myself? And so I said something like writing it down is helpful to me. No, I understand that, which is why, the understanding of that, even though in the beginning it was like, what? Because it was not anything I had ever dealt with before. But I will say, this is also the first, this is the first relationship I've been that's not been volatile. Because two people that got something to say right now. Okay, you see, then we got something to say, and then you got something to say. And, I got something to say. You got something to say back? Okay, because you're not gonna get the last word. Okay, and what you got to say ain't gonna sting me worse than what I have to say is gonna sting.
Why are you? I feel like you went to a moment. I don't know.
It don't take me long.
I don't know.
I know exactly what that feel like. I remember what it felt like. So I was giving y'all
I feel like you was feeling it right then. Like you took yourself back because
I was giving you my Angela Bassett.
Listen, because you was doing both sides of the conversation. I'm like,
I'm just saying.
Hey,
So,
listen.
yes,
You know,
it
we can do some breathing exercises. Like,
oh no, child, please. It has definitely been beneficial, and I shared that because you might not see how someone introducing something that's different from you could actually work out better, and it doesn't always feel good. I'm not gonna lie about that. I feel like also, and I want to say this, just because someone takes time to process doesn't mean that they are going to articulate any better than the person that's ready. That doesn't, right?
Yeah.
But everybody knows themselves. So if you say, how can I tell you, like, no, you're ready to talk right now? Like, if you feel like it's going to take you some time, I appreciate that you would be putting time and thought and effort into engaging in a conversation with me. Now, we're going to engage. No, God, don't let it be 6 months from now when we engage. Now that I don't know if that has to do with Capricorn tendencies or what, but it'd be a thing. But again, being willing to hear, listen, and accept others' differences can actually help to make us better. And I know nobody wants to think they come into a relationship lacking or with weaknesses or opportunities, but we all do. And everything that you thought was right, the things you grew up with in your household, God bless, they're not necessarily right or right for somebody else.
Yeah, and if you come with a willingness and an openness to learn and to compromise, I think you'll be more successful. I had to learn to walk away and give my husband room. I was the person who needed to solve everything in the moment. Marriage is growing. Yeah.
And I think another part of that is feeling like, and it's not true, but perhaps feeling like if we don't solve this right now, it's gonna either cause a divide between us, right? Like, because it's just sitting there, or it's gonna be weird because also I don't like small talk. So then it's like you get into how is your day and how you feel, and it's like this thing in the
you know how my day is going. Like, no,
right. It's like, what am I supposed to act regular? We got this thing.
But you know what? Sometimes there's those moments that can break the tension to open up communication, right?
Well, Barzini says anytime you have an argument, you need to do something naked.
Get naked. Listen,
I thought that was the most hilarious.
Get naked. Like, and I challenge y'all couples, try this. Try. Now, I'm gonna say this. It's still a theory, right? It's still a theory, but I want to see how it works. The next time you and your partner have a disagreement, right? Get naked. Go in the room. If you have kids around, whatever, go in the room, get naked, and then have the conversation. And I'm not even saying have sex, just get naked. And I say that because
you and Kellyville, she adding stuff to the mix.
But imagine that you sitting there, because what you're not gonna do is you all glistening and whatnot. Right? But no, and I say that because when you get naked, you're vulnerable, you're self-conscious, right? And now if you're self-conscious of your body, and your appearance, you might be more conscious also of your words, right? Also, you can't storm out. You can't leave, right? You there. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the last time somebody stormed out of the room naked, right? So it's I am open, I am vulnerable, I'm in my most vulnerable state.
Yeah.
Right. And just see like if it changes the communication, or like a lot of people have sex, right? And that's why a lot of times I say sex is the most important part of a relationship, because when
There's my girl, Beyonce, yes.
So, right, but I very seldom have I ever experienced a breakdown in communication after sex, right? because you're connected on so many levels after having had sex. Your defenses are down. You know what I mean? And so usually you just had a fight and the fight turns into makeup sex. And a lot of times it's like, oh, babe, what I was trying to say, I didn't mean that. What I really meant was, when I say I hate you, what I mean is,
Jesus.
like, babe, so when I say you a trifling ass bitch, when I say what I meant was,
see, we've crossed the line. We've crossed the line. Married people don't try that at home.
Yeah, don't try. Yeah,
Hope M, welcome. This is the first time I've seen your name, so maybe you are new to the party. Marriage material: the persons who have made the decision to be and hopefully stay married. All right, because that's the thing.
Yeah. So y'all get naked, and
after divorce, it's a lot of compromise, communication, patience, and implementing love as an action, not a feeling. Yeah.
I can't imagine how hard that is with the everyday version of someone, right? Because when you're just dating, y'all can go to neutral corners, especially if y'all don't live together. You go to your place, I'm at my place, blah, 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 whatever, right? But when you married, you there.
You are there. I'll be there.
And I think that's even different than like you're just in a relationship cohabitating, right? Like if you need paperwork to break up,
right?
Right. I think it changes things. And so I speak from clearly a theoretical POV because I've never been married, right? And so it's easy to speak on this side of things because it's, oh yeah, you just try this. But I can only imagine when you gotta still look at this.
Yeah.
And they still get into bed with you, like,
Yeah, it's not always flowers and roses and sunshine. Yeah. And to hear that, right? Because I'm gonna go on a limb that most people have heard, like, marriage is work. And I didn't understand that, and I saw somebody post about it in social media. It's like, everybody's talking about, marriage is work, but like, what is the work, right? Because most people don't sign up for work, right? It's like, oh God,
unless you're getting paid. And even then,
right? Because a lot of people, try to find the shortcuts in their job. Like, not a lot of people go to work every day. Like, let me do the most robust version of my work I can do every single day.
Even
especially
when
once you've done it for years and years and years, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's that component, being in relationship with someone for an extended period of time. You are going to be married to different versions of them. They are going to be married to different versions of you. Things around you are going to be going on. Sometimes, and I think we focus a lot on like couples and whatever the issues are happening between them. But sometimes, and I'm willing to venture, often there are things going on outside of them that may affect one partner. Then they bring it in the house. It affects the other partner. God forbid they're both going through things externally and bring it, in the house. And if there's not healthy communication, then, it can turn into World War III. So that is important to remember, is that, even if you identify someone as marriage material or someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, God bless, that person is about to change. Probably right after you make that decision.
Right.
they are going to change.
Immediately.
Yeah. You are going to change. And then as the days go, as things happen, as you experience, highs, lows, losses, wins, all of the things that are going to happen will continue to change you and that person. And to Hope's point, that's when it gets to, this is the decision that we made, and we are going to honor this commitment and do the work, whatever that is. If that is therapy, that is, a spiritual component. It's both. It's prayer. It's whatever it is that you need to do. Sharpening communication skills, reading books together, watching, YouTube, participating in the XrossroadZ podcast together, because I do know there are some couples who watch this together, which I think is great, but being willing to do the work. I also heard at this event where I was for wives, someone say that her and her husband, I love this, her and her husband identified a couple that they both agreed to be able to kind of be there. I don't think, she didn't call them marriage mentors, but that was kind of what I thought of, right? Like these were people that they were walking along the journey with, and they both trusted the couple so much that, hey, if it's something that you can't bring to me immediately, or something you need to drop off before, like if you're talking about processing or whatever, these people would be safe. Like this man is safe for you. This woman is safe for me. I don't know how they made that decision, but I thought that was very mature to understand that, again, even in a marriage, that one person cannot solve all your problems. They can't be all you need. Like that's too much to put on one person. And marriage is such a commitment, covenant, big thing. It's a big deal. And so trying to do that on your own sometimes, especially as a new couple, like you can have great intentions, but you may not necessarily know what you're doing.
Yeah. And that's a real interesting point about not knowing what you're doing. There are so many people that don't know what they're doing.
Just out there.
Right. And I think there is power in admitting that. Right. So like in my friend circle, with my boys, I'm the only single one. All my boys, all my close homies, they're all married. Right. And so I was having drinks with my boy one time. It was guys night, and we were the first two there, but we started just talking about like marriage and stuff like that. And he was sharing with me about a time when he and his wife were sitting there. He kind of just broke down, right? Like out of nowhere. And she was like, "What's wrong?" And so he was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Right. Like as a husband. No, he was like, as a husband and a father, I don't know what I'm doing. And a lot of men are with women with the mindset that she thinks we know what we're doing, right? Or we're supposed to know what we're doing. And we often will burden ourselves and put expectations on ourselves that we think she wants when she hasn't said that, right? And so it's like, oh, like for instance, if I'm saying, well, I'm the man, I got to be able to pay all the bills, where she's probably never said that, right? And we've got this idea from somewhere. I mean, well, it's social media age, it's everywhere. So it's everywhere. But but our woman specifically was like, hey, I never said that, right? Or are you high maintenance? And she's like, yeah, I'm high maintenance, but I've been maintaining myself. I don't need that part from you. I need these things. So like, give me what I'm asking for, not what you think that I need, right? And so that's tough when you're bombarded with social expectations of what you think a man is supposed to be. And I don't know if women, I'm sure women experience this too, but if you don't have those conversations, like, hey, what is it that you expect from me? Like, what is my role in your life? What do you need? And then you got to ask yourself, if you were asked that question, can you even answer that part? Right? Because again, this whole discussion, we posed a question and the answers were sparse from,
Yeah, it was kind of one-sided. So, but and I don't know if that's because typically men do the choosing. So men are very clear about what they're looking for to be able to make that choice. I still think women need to have the answer, but I'm just wondering if they were ready to go because these are things that they had to identify to to make the decision, and women are just waiting to be chosen. I'm unsure. Don't shoot me. I'm just wondering. Tiffany Sips. None of us know what we are doing. We all winging it and learning together. That's the beauty of marriage. And I definitely think it's beautiful when the two of you can be honest about that. Like,
right. You know, and I
sure.
think that's a dope conversation. Like, hey, like for me, I haven't seriously dated somebody in almost 10 years. You know, like I don't even know if I still know how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't like what are the rules? What are the rules here?
What do we do here?
You know.
Yeah.
So y'all we can go on about this, you know, for quite a while, but I think I do find comfort in that comment, like don't nobody know what we're doing. You
all
know.
out here.
Right. But I do know what we're about to do. You know.
Okay.
We're about to go into final thoughts for the show. So what are your final thoughts for this week?
Well, first, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope that your 2024 is off to a great start. There's some thoughts that I shared on my own page a couple of days ago, but I just want to reiterate, that everybody's beginning of the year doesn't look the same. Everybody's year to year doesn't look the same. You're going to see a lot of, let's make vision boards, let's determine a word for the year and what's your focus. And all of those things are great because sometimes you might be in that space. And other times, you may have limped across the year line, from 2023 into 2024. And all you have is, thank God I made it. And both are okay. And so, I pray that each of you, wherever you find yourself, that you have a gentle and peaceful 2024. Some people I know are still in bereavement, like people began the year with loss. And again, our prayers go out to you with going through and journeying through a loss like that and the grief that comes. For those of you who are, excited about the new year, we are excited as well as it pertains to the Crossroads podcast. We really have been brainstorming some wonderful things to bring to you. And we look forward to more conversations like this. Sometimes there'll be, nice conversations and sometimes they'll be gritty, but they're always necessary. And that's one thing that I appreciate about this podcast experience. I get to talk to my best friend weekly, even though we talk a lot more than that, but we get to do this here weekly, but also the fact that we get to tie in to your thoughts and your ideas, and those things help to broaden our horizons and make us better, just as much as we hope what we share with you makes you better as well. So those are my general final thoughts. Also, get them in a break. That's and you know what I mean? Because some of them, they don't need a break. You need to be on them. But for the most part, like you mentioned, I know some really, really good guys, not perfect, but none of us are, right? And so one thing that I have learned is when you see somebody trying, that you want to encourage them and you don't want to squash them just because they are not moving at the pace that you want them to move or you think they should move, right? Earnest effort and willingness for me is key. And that's in a relationship, that's in a friendship, that's just, somebody I'm mentoring. Like, I just want to know that you want better. We can get to better if you want better. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah. So my final thoughts. On topic, I ain't paying for $700 for pay for your own meals, yo.
I can't wait till I have $700 to spend on friends.
Yeah,
I look forward to that.
Unless someone offers, expect to pay for your own food, and drinks. Like, come on. What is marriage material? The willingness to learn the person that you're with, learn what they like, and do it. be willing to grow, be willing to hear and adjust when necessary and needed. Um, know what you want to, and be able to communicate that and be able to fulfill what they need. Hold up your end of the bargain,
Mm.
right? That's really what it is. Like being in a relationship with somebody is really an agreement to feel parts of their life that they otherwise cannot or do not want to feel themselves, you know, and vice versa. And you come in and you feel those parts of the other person, you know. So yeah, and love not only emotionally but as an action item as well, like Callie Bell mentioned. But I wanted to share this
Hmm.
regarding the new year. I saw so much hurt, pain, angst, grief, loss around 2023. Like it feels like nobody had a great year, right? Like just most of the posts about 2023 were so negative, and that's not a shot. You had the year you had. And I found myself not wanting to post about 2023 because I didn't like, I had some loss or some change. I'm not even say loss. I had some change this year, but I had so much growth and gratitude this year. Like the mindset that I was able to finish the year in, like my second half was phenomenal for me, right? It was really life changing and life altering. And I posted about it. I was like, because I was too scared that people that didn't have a great year, like I was going to offend them or something like that. And I was like, like no, let me share how I was blessed this year. But also for those who were posting about how terrible 2023 was, if you knew what would happen, what would you have done differently, right? And so entering 2024, let's just say it throws a lot of 2023 at you. What are you going to do, right? That's the question that I have, because people are like, oh, I want to ask 2024 who all there. Like y'all are here, you are alive, right? And it's time to start moving into spaces to make your year what you want it to be, right? Regardless of the circumstances, you can't control circumstances. Life is going to happen. And I want to bring everyone's attention. There's a video that I saw. I wish I learned her name, and I apologize, but she's a basketball coach for Duke. I don't know how old this video is, but she's talking to her team, and I'm paraphrasing what she's saying, but a lot of people are living this life waiting for things to get easier, and it's not. Life never gets easier. You
Mm.
just have to get better at doing the hard things. Right?
Mhm.
Like that's what this is about. And for those of you who have not, I encourage you to read the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, right? Because it shaped a lot of perspective. Like my question to you is who said you were supposed to be happy all the time? Who promised you happiness, right? The Bible doesn't even, for those who are Christian, right? The Bible speaks of joy, but it does not speak of happiness. In fact, the Bible prepares you for hardships, right? It is a book of how to handle hard things. The stories are about hard things. And I even wrote a chapter in my first book, shameless plug, Hello Me, Nice to Meet You. But there's a chapter called No Great Tale. And what I speak of in that chapter is that no great tale was ever told with the absence of hardship, right? We don't read books like our fiction books, or we don't go to the movies where the protagonist faces nothing. Like imagine this. You're watching a movie and the good guy starts the movie and life is great. And then you get to the second act and life is still great. It just gets greater. And then you get to the climax and then life just gets even better, right? And then you get to the final act and life just continues to be great. Like what am I watching? What's their story? What did they overcome? What did they learn? What did we learn about this person? How did they grow? That only comes from adversity. You see what I'm saying? And so when we stop looking for happiness and decide like, hey, I'm happy in spite of, you see what I'm saying? This world owes you nothing, period. And so you have to stop looking for things to change before you're going to be happy. You have to push on. You see what I'm saying? And that's where courage comes in. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to push on in the presence of fear. It is the ability to push on when you don't know the outcome. It's the willingness to take that leap when you don't know how things are going to turn out and still be grateful. It's not about happiness, it is about gratitude, because we refuse to look back and see how far God has brought us. It is a refusal to look back and see where you were compared to where you are and be grateful. Life is not that difficult. Things happen, yes, but when you look at your life and how well you are still taken care of, that's where you need to live. And that's what's going to help you push through to do even greater things, right? Don't ignore the blessings that you've already been blessed with because you're so busy looking at what you don't have and what you're trying to get and chase the bag. Happiness is a very dangerous thing to chase because it's usually predicated on an extrinsic factor. When I get this, when I get this job, when I make this much, when this happens, I will be happy. And then we get to these places and it's always just the next thing.
The goalpost moves.
We keep moving the goalposts and we're never truly happy. But when you learn how to be grateful, you won't even notice the blessings that are coming in because this is just life, right? Like, hey, I'm good. Regardless, I'm still good. God still got me. And when you can start being grateful and live in gratitude, it's going to change so much. And you're going to see how God starts moving in your life.
Absolutely. That was wonderful. That's wonderful. And definitely, I have a gratitude jar. I don't know if anyone does or has ever heard of one. You've been thinking about doing it, but you can do a gratitude journal. I know Oprah talks about that before getting out of the bed. Every morning, she writes something down to be grateful for. And somebody might say, she's Oprah.
Like, you're a billionaire. Like
I'm sure
you got a billion,
grateful.
you got 50 billion reasons to be grateful.
Right. But it's still a good practice, whether you call that out in prayer, you write it down. I particularly like the gratitude journal in jars because you can go back to it, right? And physically pull the paper out or flip the pages to go, yes, today feels like whatever, but these are the things to be grateful for, or this is where I was, to your point, versus where I am now. And I think that's how I feel about 2023 in general. Yes, I believe it was one of the hardest years, but Facebook has this great thing called On This Day. And I look back to see on the 31st how many times I said that. But when I think about, my life, I don't feel like, oh, I've had a terrible life. There are pockets. There are things, to your point, that we are going to experience. And then it becomes about who we become on the other side, right? Am I going to allow this to stretch me, to enlarge my capacity so that what I'm actually here for can be fulfilled? Or am I going to just fall apart? And, for some, they got to fall apart first before they get to the next place. And that's okay too. Everybody doesn't go through things the same way, but we're submitting these thoughts to you so that you can have another thought. When it feels like this is overwhelming, this is never going to change, here's another thought to have. Let me focus on what is good, or the last time that I felt like this and I made it. Those are great things, for us to focus on and give our attention to, so we can prepare ourselves for the next time God does it again. Because if he did it before, shout out to Ty Tribbett.
And
he'll do it again.
And always remember this, y'all. God does not remove that which he does not replace. If he he will
I receive
remove
it.
something, he removes something, but he's going to replace it with something greater, right? And so I know it feels like something is happening to us, but rest assured, it is usually something that is happening for us, right? So
Amen.
stay encouraged. But y'all, happy new year. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. Don't forget, for those who are still watching us on Facebook, please still go over to YouTube. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you can
Likes.
be,
Don't leave here without like and subscribe.
yeah. For those of you who are on, if you're still watching us over on Instagram, make sure you go over on YouTube and like and subscribe. Right.
Yes. Okay, go ahead and drop a little something in the offering basket on your way out. Okay, Bishop Barzini. Hit the donations.
But donations, yeah. So y'all don't forget the Bitly. You can go there, all our socials, subscribe to all of them. It may not be when you want it or when you need it. Yeah.
Oh.
So right.
Sorry.
But yeah, happy New Year, sis. Happy New Year.
Happy
So,
New
y'all,
Year.
we love y'all, and look out for all the great things that are coming. We are working, we are growing, we are improving, and we just want to get better for you. But until then, always remember,
be free to be you.
We love you.
Have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye.